Alright, hello everybody, Zaxter99 back with another First Impressions review video. This is a game that came out yesterday on July 1st. It's a game called Big Flying Asteroid, and we know me, I love everything about asteroids, so this has to be my game, right? I'm logged into my alternate Steam account that my son and I use because of a SIM card that's being sent to me by Boost Mobile. Anyway, long story. So I'm using a different account because I can't log into my main account right now until I get a SIM card. So that's why I'm on ChrisX. But anyway, guys, this is a new indie game brought to us by Fury Games Pty Limited. Sounds like they're a sophisticated company or something like that, but I think it's just a solo dev. Anyway, it is our first title on Steam. It comes in at a 99-cent price tag, and this developer was kind enough to send me an evaluation key so I could bring this review to you. Now, I did mess around with it for a little bit a couple of days ago, even before it launched. And we got some work to talk about this developer needs to do if he even wants to make this game viable at the 99-cent price tag. We'll be back to show you that and talk about BFA, and we'll do that right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back to Big Flying Asteroid. I mean, I like the welcome screen here. It looks pretty gnarly as far as a big fancy ship. I'm sure the rocks in the ship are just assets or whatever. But, I mean, it is a 99-cent game. Obviously, a knock here at first is we don't have any kind of options at all for sound or resolution or to go to the windowed mode or anything. We simply just have new game and exit to desktop, and that's it. And yeah, so we know what I think about that from my many previous reviews. Like, at least let us slide a volume slider or somehow change the volume, and at least let us go into a windowed mode if we don't want to use a full screen or whatever. Anyway, we don't have that, so we're not going to complain anymore. And yeah, and this is exactly why I talked about, guys. Sound volume, a volume level adjustment needs to be in the game. Let me turn this down for you guys so you guys can hear it. All right. Yep, so resume. Even if we hit escape, we get resume, resign, and quickly test up. So we're just going to resume here. All right. Let me turn my volume down a little bit more because it's still super loud. All right, guys, so we start in this, like, big purple cave or something like that. I guess in outer space, and we have asteroids right here. So you simply point your ship at the asteroid, hit the left mouse button, and I guess we didn't blow it up. We got it bouncing around now. So we hit left mouse button again, up. You gotta get the firing down. There we go. So we blew that one up, and we do this one again. And we already leveled up. The right mouse button does nothing. Space actually moves you up. I don't know what moves you down. Shift, maybe? No, I don't know. Okay, so something came out of that asteroid, and I think it was fuel. And so fuels are just big yellow blobs. And then sometimes the asteroids break into a bunch of little pieces, and they fly around. And I think you take damage as you get hit by an asteroid. And it's kind of rough. I mean, you can't obviously go through this outside wall. You just bounce off of it. And it looks like I'm taking no damage for bouncing off the outside wall. But if I do get hit by a rock, one of these big glowing blue things, then I take some damage. And when you take enough damage, yeah, or you load, if you don't have enough fuel, then you die as well. And so there's some fuel right there, so let's grab that. And now we're not going to die of low fuel. Okay, so that's all there is to this game, guys. There are no UFOs or anything that I've seen. I sat here and played this for like 10 minutes the first time and didn't see any kind of threat. It's just shooting these rocks and picking up yellow blobs. And I mean, I know the simplicity of games can sometimes be very appealing, but I just feel like this is too simple, even for 99 cents. So yeah, game over because I ran out of fuel. I like that it tells you why you died, why you died. But that's all there is to this game, guys. And again, no options, anything like that. We're going to go ahead and exit back to the desktop here. And we are going to take a look at this game. And I mean, it's not a surprise this game doesn't have any reviews yet. But yeah, I'm looking here in the trailer, looking here in the screenshots. I don't see any other kind of threat, like no UFOs that you have to face or whatever. So my suggestions for this developer, I mean, I like what you're trying to do. It's a first game on Steam. I like that you definitely try to make like a 3D asteroids type of a game. But even like old school asteroids have things like hyperspace where you could teleport out of harm's way and get out of danger. Power-ups and things like that would be nice here. But another thing here, guys, that we see is in the game, you don't even have a score. So there's no high scores in the game to compete against other players. There is a pause function, but there's no high scores. There's no settings, as we talked about. And the bad problem with this game is there's really no fun to be had. I hate to say it, but to the developer, I gotta ask you the same question I've asked so many indie developers over the years. Have you truly created a game that you yourself enjoy playing with Big Flying Asteroid? So I feel like this game could be better, and I want to go ahead, since you have put in the effort to make this game, and you obviously, ponied up $100 to put it on Steam. There's a lot of things that I think you could do to make this game better. But the first suggestion I have for you to make this game better is this purple cave thing, as cool as it looks. Like, get rid of this. That's my first suggestion, and give us more room to fly around. I think that would be the first step. So I have an idea for you, and I know that you made this game in Unity or whatever. So let me pull up my paint here. And let's just go ahead and give us some outer space here. And let me resize this to a, a widescreen format here. So here's my idea for you, man. Again, this is to the developer on this. So what I would do and what I would recommend is, instead of doing like this weird, like purple cave that's, just really, I mean, I guess the walls kind of look cool, whatever. But you could use that texture that you have on the walls right now for something else. So my idea here is to give the player basically a big, let's go like this, right? So what we're doing here is, what I would do is give them a big box to set something more flat, right? And so make this box be like at least twice as big as the area you have in your game right now. So, and this box, don't make it out of a textured, make it so you can see through it, and then put a lot of stars out everywhere. Like, put stars out so you can see from inside here. You want to be able to see all the stars and everything like that out here. And then maybe even have, out here, and I'm just trying to give you some ideas here, but maybe even have some planets out here, right? Maybe you can even see, maybe you can get an Earth asset where you can see the Earth back over here, right? And then we'll come back over here, and let's just go. Anyway, I think you're getting the idea. Let's say that this is, another planet or whatever. So you can see all the stars out here, and what this is like a clear box. But make it so it's not completely transparent. Make it so you can kind of see into it. And my suggestion is like, let's take your ship, right? So your ship, I don't remember what color it was, but let's say that your ship is, let me grab a paintbrush. Let's say your ship is coming in the middle here, and he's coming like right here, and he's coming up against this wall right here. So here's your ship here, coming here. Well, maybe as he gets closer to this wall, make it reflective so that you can see yourself. And that's kind of how you know you're about to bounce off the wall. So you can, it's not, again, make sure it's not completely transparent. So make sure it's a little bit, a little bit rough so you can kind of see through it. Like maybe like a plastic, like clear plastic or something, right? Or glass. But as you get closer, you can kind of see your own reflection showing up at the point that you kind of get close to it. So like if you're in the middle, you can't see your reflection, but as you get closer, you can see your reflection. So if you could do something like that in a big box, about twice as big an area as what you have right now, I think that would be really cool. That way you're not just bouncing off walls and stuff like that. And then also, like in your game right now, when you bounce against the wall, you kind of have it. Let's say the wall's right here. So when you have it, you come up against the wall and you bounce off the wall. You just kind of have your ship just kind of going sideways or whatever. What you want to do is any of these walls, if you bounce against them, you want to have code that'll actually figure out what direction you were coming in and then reflect you directly back. So instead of just sliding you along the wall or whatever, make it so that if you bounce off the wall, right, it sends you back into the middle of the play area. So just reverse the direction the player was moving and send them right back into the play area. So, making sure it doesn't hurt you, kind of like you have now. But then you have all your rocks, right? So you have all your little blue rocks, and the rocks are fine as they are right now. That's totally cool. So you have your rocks flying around at different heights and everything like that. But you definitely want to create some kind of a UFO or something that can shoot at you. So you definitely need some kind of enemy, at least one different kind of enemy, that'll come in maybe from side to side, maybe above you or below you. And then maybe it's also going to fire a fireball at you or some kind of shot at you while you're moving around. And because you won't be able to see them if they're above or below you, you definitely want to have, so you might want to create some kind of panel on the bottom of your screen. So here's your screen, right? You might want to create some kind of panel to show you here. And if you have a threat from above, so make an indicator here or here. Or you could just do it on the screen itself. If the threat's above, you could have like a marker or something like that saying, hey, you have a threat above, or if the threat's from over to your left, like a UFO, for example. Or you could even do this for asteroids coming at you as well. So have some kind of red flashing thing, on the sides of the screen that kind of show you, hey, if you can't see it, you have a threat up here, you have a threat over here, you have a threat over here. All these ideas could definitely help you make your game a lot more enjoyable, I think. And then also adding Steam leaderboards and a score so that you can see, so you can compete versus yourself. So for right now, I don't even have a score to beat. I played for however long, and I don't know if I beat my last score. I mean, I can go on level, I guess, but giving the players a score is something that's going to make them, it's at least some way to reward the player for their efforts in playing your game. So, and then creating a leaderboard so you can compete against other friends and, anybody who set a high score in the game would be another suggestion for you in this game. Power-ups are always good in a game like this. Maybe you can make something like, they're just really weird ideas. Maybe there's a little star that spawns randomly, and this thing is, all pretty and stuff like that. And if you go click on it, then you appear in a random spot. So you move into this, and you suddenly appear down here. Just to maybe get out of the way, or maybe you can make it so the right mouse button is a hyperspace that would move you to a random spot, right? Maybe there's power-ups that appear and that would allow you to shoot faster, or maybe you can set a bomb, or maybe you can, if you have this power-up, you can click a button or a space bar or something and blow up all the rocks on the screen at once. Or, there's a lot of things you could do with this, but at least the 2 or 3 power-ups I would suggest, and at least one enemy, if not more, that would be some kind of a threat. Right now, the problem with your game is, just being completely honest, it's just boring. And even for 99 cents, it's just not a fun game to play. And doing some of these other things that I suggested here, I think could go a long ways. Obviously, you don't have to take my suggestions as they are, but I do think that doing the things I suggest here could help you make a game a lot better. But be creative. You open up your imagination and think of ways that you can make your game more fun to play for the player and even for yourself. Again, I go back to ask you, have you created a game that you yourself enjoy playing? Be creative. Make a game that you enjoy playing yourself, because if you don't enjoy playing your game, how can you possibly expect anybody else to enjoy playing it? So be sure you comment down below. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hopefully I have helped this developer out with these ideas. But this has been a Big Flying Asteroid. Because the game does come in at only 99 cents, I'm going to go ahead and give this developer the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to recommend the game, but it's definitely, if I had to score this game on a scale of 1 to 10, it'd be like a 5 out of 10 at best. I'm not going to negatively review it because I know that he has put effort into this game, but it could just definitely be a lot better. So I like where he's trying to go, but he needs to add a lot more, and he mainly needs to add a lot more fun. Right now, there's just no real challenge to it, and the cave here that you're in, and bouncing against the walls and stuff like that in a really small area, is more frustrating than it is fun. So I would love to know what you guys have to say. And to the developer, keep working on your craft. Don't let my, even though I'm recommending your game, this is kind of a negative review because I really can't honestly advise anybody to go up pay $1 for your game. I don't think anybody's really going to have fun with it. I'm giving you a positive review to the developer right now, and I'm hoping that you at least add some fun to the game. I'll come back and I'll try your game in another month or two. And if you haven't done anything to your game, if you let it sit as it is right now without doing anything else, I will turn my positive review on Steam into a thumbs down, into a negative review. You need to do more with your game, or I assure you, I will turn my positive into a thumbs down, because that to me shows a lack of care and a lack of, it shows me you don't care about your game, your first game on Steam, and you should definitely care about that. So I'm going to give you a month or two to add more fun to your game, however you want to do it. And I'm giving you some suggestions on how to do that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. This has been Zaxter99, and we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care.